Everyone, and welcome back to a Sunday edition of Torrential Tom. I am your host, Torrential Tom, and as has been the story for the past week, we have an update on Tropical Storm Eta. Currently, as of 1 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Eta has winds of 65 miles per hour, so it's a strong tropical storm. Pressure of 993 millibars, moving north-northwest at a rather brisk pace at 17 miles per hour. We move on to the current watches and warnings from the National Hurricane Center, and you can see in the blue tropical storm warnings, which include western and eastern Florida coasts, all the way up to the central eastern Atlantic coast. You have tropical storm watches close to the Tampa Bay area. There's hurricane watches, which include Miami. And then you have hurricane warnings for the Florida Keys. Tropical storm warnings also extend out to the Bahamas, as they can see tropical storm force winds and have some showers and waves and a couple feet of storm surge. Cuba is still under a tropical storm warning, and the western edge of Cuba is under a tropical storm watch, and we will get to that in a little bit. We move on to the actual visual satellite of Eta, and you can see the center of Eta, right where my mouse cursor is, right here. You can see the rotation of the storm, the counterclockwise rotation. Now, if you notice, the northern edge, or the northern side of Eta, seems to be very full and very healthy, including the northeastern side. Then you look at the southern side, and it seems rather bare. There's actually blue skies in parts of Cuba, and we will get to that in a moment. And our infrared satellite actually shows the same thing. You can see some deep colors in the beginning of the satellite view, and then it kind of just dies out. There's really not much going on, which kind of signifies that the storm's either staying pat at 65 miles per hour, or it's actually going to be weakening. If you look closely, one of the issues kind of prohibiting Eta from strengthening is wind shear. There are strong winds aloft, and you can see on the southern side, the thunderstorm tops are actually getting blown away. So there's not much development going on. The northern side, like I said previously, is rather healthy, but it's more so the western and southern side where the thunderstorms are getting blown apart from upper level winds. What happens with wind shear is, as I mentioned, they are upper level winds, so the cloud tops of these strong thunderstorms that are part of the outer bands or even the center of the hurricane or tropical storm actually get blown off. They cannot go higher up in the air. They like to grow in a very straight, vertical way, and the strong wind shear from an opposite direction blows the thunderstorm apart, making it kind of lopsided. So we move on to our next satellite here, and this is our water vapor satellite, and this is our next point. You have Eta there with the clouds. You have the greens and the blues, which signify very moist air. As I mentioned, very healthy on the northern edge of Eta. But then we look at the western side and the southern side, you see that orange flowing in. And because of the counterclockwise rotation of the tropical system, that dry air is actually getting funneled into the circulation of Eta, into the center of it, and it's prohibiting those thunderstorms from developing and from the storm strengthening. We move into a little bit more better view visibly of the dry air. The orange and the reds are your dry air, and you can see it kind of slowly funneling in to the rotation of Eta. Now we move into our forecast models. This is the American model. This is Eta's current position, a little bit north of central Cuba and southeast of the southern Florida peninsula. Sunday midnight, Ada's forecasted to come close to the Florida Keys or make landfall in the Florida Keys. The National Hurricane Center has it as a hurricane. From what we just viewed, I do not see this making landfall in the Florida Keys as a hurricane. I could see it remaining at a 65 mile per hour tropical storm or even weaker. But still should be taken seriously because it is a tropical system. There is some storm surge. Most deadly part of this storm will be the flooding, the rainfall, because the storm, as you will see moving on with this forecast, the storm will be slowing up quite a bit. Now we move into Monday midnight, tomorrow midnight. This storm kind of moves west to southwest towards the western edge of Cuba. That's why they are under a tropical storm watch at the moment. So the high pressure you can see right here blocking the storm from moving north, blocking the storm from moving northeast. The only place it has to go is west. By the way, this high pressure is what's giving us our beautiful weekend and our record warm temperatures. High pressure has a clockwise flow, so we are getting the warm weather from the southeast and from the Atlantic Ocean. We move forward in time here to Tuesday midnight, only 24 hours after that last image, and you can see not much movement in Ada, but there is some strengthening. So again, I am not anticipating this really becoming a strong hurricane. If it becomes a hurricane, again, dry air is the issue. Wind shear as we get to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not a big deal. Not a big deal. That will die off. So there will be the opportunity for these cloud tops to grow. But if that dry air inhibits those thunderstorms, then there's really not much strengthening for this system. We move 24 hours after that previous image, and again, not much movement, very small circulation, but again, bad situation for Florida, Cuba, because they will be experiencing showers from tonight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with these showers, tropical storm conditions, some waves, and some storm surge. We move to Ada's forecast path. Excuse me for the poor graphics. I'm still trying to develop some graphics for you guys, but I wanted to get this out to you. This is Ada's path. As you can see, 7 a.m. Monday past the Florida Keys. Tuesday morning takes a little bit of a western to west southwest turn towards the western tip of Cuba, and then we get that turn to the north. Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, not much movement. Again, the western edge of Florida will be experiencing a couple feet of storm surge, if that, maybe a foot, but there will be some flooding rain as the storm stays put. Now we move to our local area, currently 75 degrees, southwest winds 3 miles per hour. That's why we are experiencing the warm weather. The winds are coming from the southwest. Pressure of 1026.8 millibars. Tomorrow, same story. Mostly sunny skies, high of 74, a low of 50. And then Tuesday, maybe some morning fog. But as that breaks away, we will see mostly sunny skies, some clouds, high of 70, and a low of 57 degrees. Again, I am your host, Torrential Tom. I will be back earlier in the week for another update on Ada and our local weather. I hope you all enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Have a good evening.